There. My name is Professor Catherine Roman. I've been here at CGC for this is my fourth year, and I will be your Physics 2, Physics 131 professor. Okay. Little information, my location is on the Williams campus. It is out beside ASU Polytechnic, in between Polytechnic and the Mesa Gateway Airport. I do have 3 sets of office hours, one fully in person, one fully online, and one kind of half and half. Also answer emails. Obviously, it's a little easier to explain in person sometimes, so jumping on some of those online appointments. It is through Google Calendar, and I will show you where to find that link. So we have weekly modules. This is not a self-paced course. You will be required to turn in weekly assignments. Your attendance is based off of your turning in assignments. If you do not turn in anything for a week, that is considered an unexcused absence. And once you do that for 2 weeks, you will be dropped from the course. That is outlined in our syllabus. Okay, so each module will consist of notes and lectures or readings, suggested readings. What I call a check for understanding. It's like a practice quiz. It's a bunch of questions that you can take as many times to make sure you understood what is going on in the lectures. These tend to be a little bit easier work. And then we get to our expert TA, which is the bigger problems. We will also have lab simulations, a weekly quiz, and later on in the semester, a few other assignments as well. So everything will open on Mondays and everything will close on Sundays. So it's a Monday to Sunday module, and those are my office hours there. Okay, if anything is happening, like Labor Day, for instance, I may, depending on when I open that, give an extra day, but please just note that I will always give you a full week from when everything is, or from when the module opens up. Okay, your grade breakdown, it is 4 categories. Each one of them is worth 1/4 of your grade: coursework, lab work, quizzes, and final exam. Okay, your final exam is 25% of your overall grade. I know sometimes people think that's a lot, but I really do prepare you. So no worries about that, hopefully. All right, so your coursework, this is kind of what you do week to week to understand the information. All right, so as I mentioned, check for understandings. They look like quiz grades, but they are going into your coursework category. Although they're due by Sunday night, this should be the first thing you do after watching the lecture videos or reading the notes, okay? If you're doing these CFUs and have no idea what the questions are, go back to your notes, okay? I create everything, so they should go right in line with your notes. Expert TA I don't create, but I do hand pick the problems. These are kind of like your bigger problems. Check for understanding should be those easy. If you were in class, I'd kind of throw out a question. The expert TA would be like whiteboarding or group problem solving. All right, so they are bigger problems. I do hand pick them, so I try to keep them in line with what you're going to be tested on. And then you have 5 attempts on each. It will take 5% off of your score each time. However, if you submit a handwritten solution, whether if you worked it out on a whiteboard and took a picture of that, or in your notebook and take a picture and submit that, there'll be a separate expert TA corrections. Then I will give those points back that you missed from that 5%. Okay. Please don't do like every single one, just the ones that you miss. And I usually update those once or twice a semester, not weekly. So labs and lab simulation, this is a lab science. It is an integrated lecture lab, so your 4 credits. One of those credits is considered your lab credit. That's why it's 25% of your grade. We do all kinds of different things. A lot at the beginning is going to be simulations using PHET or Physlets. Some of them that are a little trickier, I do include some video directions. If I include a video direction, please use them. It's probably because I've had the same question 8 times and it'll be for your benefit. Okay, you will be required to pick up a lab kit. I know some of you have already expressed you cannot pick one up. I will have links to Amazon There is a circuit kit and a multimeter. Some of you may have a multimeter or know somebody with a multimeter. You need DC current and DC voltage. If you're able to swing by, I will have directions and signups on when and where to pick those up during weeks 3 through 6. We will begin using the kits on week 6. Weekly quizzes. I do not do unit exams. Okay, and the reason for that is your weekly quiz is telling me where you're at, what you know, what you don't know. Okay, and so this is a checkpoint, and we obviously need to take these seriously, but you should know all the information by the end of the week to move forward. We kind of have 3 main units if I were to do units, and those chunks really build on themselves. This week we're doing charges and interactions, then it'll get to electric fields, electric forces, and into electric flux. They all build on themselves, so I don't want to wait until the end of 4 weeks to find out you really don't understand what a charge is. Same with circuits, okay? We do basic Ohm's law, then basic circuits, combination circuits, and all kinds of crazy circuits, but if you don't know the basic stuff, you can't move on. So that's why I choose to do weekly quizzes, okay? If there are problem solving, you will have to submit written work to show your work. I will put that in the instructions so you are aware of it before you open the quiz. You will use Lockdown Browser, and you will need a scientific calculator. Desmos is not acceptable. The Lockdown Browser does have a scientific calculator, but any calculator will do. So once I grade those, sometimes with grading, it automatically grades it, but I always look those over right away. Okay, and so sometimes if you enter the number with too many significant figures, it tells you that it's wrong, and I may still give you partial credit for that. So I look them over before I release them. So you may see a grade, but that grade may change between when you submitted till when I release them. When I release those grades, I do send an email or a message through the gradebook saying you can now review your quiz, and then from that point you will have 2 weeks to request a retake, and I will show you where to do that and how to do that in a minute. Your final exam is 25%, and this must be done in person. I've put this all over between our Canvas page, my syllabus, and in everything. Here at Chandler Gilbert in our physics department, we have agreed that all of our online exams are being done in person for our 121 and our 131. I have 4 different sessions that I am offering the week of, it is December 9th through the 12th that it must be completed. And we do have some options from some proctoring services. I've had students use MCC or Rio before. I do believe there's a cost with that. That way you can schedule it at your own time. If you are concerned about that, please reach out to me sooner than later. And later on in the semester, I'll have a sign up so you commit to one of these time frames. This is a non-negotiable. I do not have an online version of my exam. Everybody must do a written exam, show your ID so we know it's actually you that is learning this. Also in my syllabus, it states if you do not take my exam or do not pass my exam, you will not get credit for the course. So you need a 60% or better on the final exam, regardless of your grade going into it, okay? Late work, Canvas lets us do this awesome automatic 10% per day. So I understand things happen, okay? I don't give a lot of extensions. Obviously there's extreme circumstances, but I give you 7 days to get your work done. If you turn it in a day late, you can still get a 90% on that. That's pretty lenient. I don't cut it off, but it is 10% per day. All right, and so please plan accordingly. Do not plan on doing everything in the 2 hours before everything's due. Some things do take longer than others, and so please plan accordingly. Late quizzes, the quizzes close at midnight. Again, you have 7 days, so please make sure you're planning your weeks out so you are carving out that time to take your quizzes, to complete your lab work, and to complete your homework, okay? And again, I do not do extensions because my late policy is actually pretty lenient compared to many, 10% per day. So you all took Physics 121, you've all taken some calculus. These are kind of items that I expect you to understand. Okay, we use a lot of scientific notation and significant figures. I'll have some resources for those, but I do not teach those as separate lessons. Okay, we'll also do vector addition. We're going to do 2D, X and Y components, definitely analyzing some graphs. We're going to do some derivatives and integrals. They're not too crazy, but you can freshen up on those. And then surface area, and we will be using cross products and dot products, not necessarily proving them, but we are going to be using them. Please set yourself up for success. As I said, stay organized, make a schedule. If you have a regular work schedule or other classes, make sure that you're working on not on my course just one day. Some of this material is a lot harder to wrap your brains around than 121. It's things that you haven't really thought of, like electric flux. It's going to take a few times you looking that over and working through the problems for you to really grasp it. And so please make sure you're not just doing one day of physics, that you're doing this throughout the week. You're carving out some time, whether it's every other day or things like that. And then you're leaving time for yourself to get help if you need it. Okay, so going to our course here, this is our course home page right here. Okay, I have our weekly modules on the course page, and then I will update them with the newest one on top. Okay, this is the general Chandler-Gilbert stuff. This I posted on Sunday. It gives you details of me, and then goes through, once again, my office hours. I want to bring this up because this appointment, this is your sign up. So when you go here, you can pick what time slot that you want, and it'll tell you this helps me if you put a topic or issue to discuss. So that way I know if you're worried about the lab or you want to go over last week's quiz, I can show up prepared and we'll take less time. I do need a little window of time though, so that's on that. And then we go through, once again, our final exam in person, course topics. This is pretty much what we do. Sometimes I mix things up a little bit. And then required materials. Okay, so expert TA, lab kits, and scientific calculators. All right, and so you can ask any questions here if you'd like as well. All right, and so into week one, every week is going to look like this, where I have your lectures and notes. Please do not go to this to-do list. Use this as a reference at the end of the week. However, if you only do this, you're going to be missing things. For instance, this doesn't have a to-do on it, but when you look in here, this is the video I'm making right now. This is our notes in PDF form, and then I go through a video lecture note. So I essentially explain those. I do give a lot more details when I do video lectures, so they are important. I am updating some of these. This is my third year teaching this class fully online, so some of the videos I'll be updating. So if it says updated, for instance, here today when I post this, I'll put updated and then the date, so you're aware of that. Okay, I don't do this checklist every week. That's on your to-do. I just kind of wanted you guys to get used to that. All right, so again, make sure you're looking through the full module because not everything is showing up on the to-do list. All right, and so please make sure that you are reaching out. Again, my job is to be here for you guys. I do get an insane amount of emails, so definitely, plan ahead so you can give me some time to respond. I will also have weekly class discussions that are optional, that if you just have a question, because maybe a classmate can help you and answer that a little bit quicker than I can, just like if you were in a lab room. Okay. So with that said, if you know anybody in this class, working together through some of these is a really ideal situation. Working together does not mean, you do these problems, I do those problems, and then we share our answers. That doesn't teach you anything. Okay, working together means that you're talking through it and you're solving problems together to help your overall understanding. Okay. Please reach out. As I said, I've got these office hours set, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions at all, and hopefully we'll have a great semester.